Alright, we're going to begin the Word Module 2 SAM textbook project, and we are going to click Start, and I make sure that you always download the Word document here because it will not take a blank document. You have to download it from the SAM assignment. Alright, I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to pull up the Word document. And we're going to get started on this second project. And this actually might be a little bit easier than the first one because it's more typing than anything. So the only thing you have to be careful about is watching out for typos. Okay, so here is our assignment. We are going to be doing a research paper. So I'm in Word Project 2, 218. We're going to be using MLA, and you can read about MLA. It's important to read, but I'm going to strictly be looking at what we're going to do in this project. So what we're going to do is start Word. We've already downloaded our document, and then if the print layout bar is not selected, click it so that, and that's down at the bottom. That's one way to do that, to select it. Alright, I think we are ready. And you can kind of hover above it and see that it's print layout. Alright, and then if normal is not selected under styles, make sure that it's selected. Display the view tab, so we're going to display view and make sure that we are fitting to the page width. And then we're going to display the home tab now and make sure that the show high button is selected. Home, and then sorry, I went to the wrong one, the paragraph group, but it is showing already. So if you're using a mouse, you want your screens to match the figures in the book, verify that you're using mouse mode by clicking the touch mouse mode button on the quick access toolbar, and then if necessary, clicking mouse on the menu. Alright, so you can actually just search touch mouse mode and it will pop up there, and we want to use the mouse. Okay, alright, we're going to move on to the next step. Alright, so we're talking about the styles, and we have selected a normal style. So it says right click normal in the styles tab. Right click, and then it says click modify. So here is the toolbar, and then it wants you to click the font arrow, and we want it to be Times New Roman, and then we want it to be 12, and then ensure that the only in this document option is selected, and then click OK. Next, we're going to look at the line and spacing. So we're going to go to paragraph and go to the line and spacing button, and we want it to be, I believe it was 2.0. And let me just make sure it, okay, that it did it. All right, to remove space after a paragraph, click the line and paragraph spacing button, and then click remove space after paragraph. All right, and then in the style, we want to go back to styles again, and we want to make sure that normal is selected. All right. All right, it says, okay, it wants us to right click in the styles gallery. So let's do that. Right click and update normal to match selection. And I always like to just make sure that it's selected. All right. Next, we're going to look at headers and footers. So step 1 is we're going to click the insert on the ribbon, and then we're going to click the header button, okay, header, and click blank in the header gallery, and next click home on the ribbon to display home. I'm going to make this side a little bit smaller and make my word a little bit bigger so I can see it. All right. We're going to click home, and then we're going to click the align right button in the paragraph group. So that would be this one. Then we're going to type Yazzie. Okay. And then press spacebar. Then it says go back to the header, click the header and footers tool design on the ribbon. So let's see. All right, it says click the page number button, and we have a menu there, and we want to click the plain number in the current position. So we want current position, plain number. Okay, now I didn't have my number at the right point here. My insertion point, I believe, should be at let me make sure. Yes, and I'm glad that I did that, because as you're working, it's going to tell you where to have your mouse. So that's going to be your insertion point. So I'm going to do that again, header and footer, page number, and then I want it in the current position and a plain number. So now it says Yazzie 1. Let's see if we can see that. It wants us to click the close header and footer button. And I believe, let's see if I can maximize this. And there's supposed to be a way to close. Usually I can see it, but for some reason, oh, here it is. Okay, so if you go to header and footer and click close. All right, moving on. We are going to start typing the research paper, and everybody should kind of understand the format. That's what it's talking about here in plagiarism. All right, we are with the insertion point position as shown in figure 213. So let's look at that. All right, so right where we are, we're going to type Nina Yazzie. And then we're going to press enter, and then we're going to put Mr. Slobovnik, that's very hard to say. It is easy to misspell, so be careful there. Of course, it's going to say it's not spelled right because it doesn't recognize that proper noun. Then English 1 and October 6th, 2021. And then it says press enter. So there's where our insertion point is. All right, move the pointer around the document below the enter name and course and observe the various icons that appear with the I-beam. All right, so I'll show you. Okay, it's just showing, this is just showing you that we want to it says experiment, but I'm just going to center this, and I believe you could probably right click and center. All right, and then our title is going to be Health Concerns of Using Technology. So I'm going to pause it and you can type that. Once you type that, you're going to press enter. And this is going over some keyboard shortcuts. If you press Control L, let me get over here. Control L will left align it. And then we're going to save the research paper as this right here. So for the next video, we'll pick up on the next section.